Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're going to do another look at something a bit historical here. Um, we are looking at a clip um from I guess it's a movie or documentary. Says the boys who said no, draft resistance in the Vietnam War. The actual channel name is the boys who said no, draft resistance in the Vietnam War. So, of course, I think that is the complete information on the thing. But this is an actual scene featuring Muhammad Ali. Now, if you do not know, the at this point in American history, we still held drafts. People would receive a draft card and say, "You're going to fight for the military." And, you had to, or you would face jail time. There were a number of people who left the U.S. and would go elsewhere rather than serving. But the thing is, this was a big happening because, like I said, whenever a war would come up, they would send you a draft notice. Let's see, when was I can't remember which amendment it is right off the top of my head. Uh, that ended draft. Okay. Uh, you still have to fill out selective service. But yeah, military ends the draft January the 27th, 1973. Let's see. Yeah. Uh 1973 January 27th. So the US military just ended the draft. I don't think it was an actual amendment. You still have to sign up for selective service. Um but yeah, 73 Nixon would be in the White House. Vietnam was still, I think, was still going on. Um, I can't remember exactly when we pulled out of the Vietnam either. My brain's just not clicking like it normally would. Of course, that happens from time to time with me. But anyway, let's go ahead and watch some of this video and see what we can do. Yes, it has music, Stand By Me, but I don't know really what I'm going to be able to do about that. But yeah.
It has been said that I have two alternatives: either go to jail or go to the army. But I would like to say that there is another alternative, and that alternative is justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Ali has just refused to be inducted into the United States Armed Forces.
He refused induction on the grounds of his religious convictions on war.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never call me nigger.
Yeah. So there, at this point, that's a famous line. Why should I go kill, an Asian man? They've never called me. I won't say it in this one. Because it's a despicable word, but but yeah. Ali pointing out, like, why should I go fight for a land that don't even treat me equally? Just so we can go in and have our way in Vietnam.
Muhammad Ali is really important in this because when Ali refuses induction, there's a famous column in the New York Times written by Tom Wicker where he just wonders out loud what would happen if you had 100,000 Muhammad Alis. You had 100,000 people who were prepared to do what Muhammad Ali just did. You would bring this war to a stop. So the draft resistors set that kind of as a goal.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges and specifications. He was sentenced to the maximum, 5 years in prison, and was fined $10,000.
No, I won't be afraid. No.
Yeah. So, Vietnam quickly became an unpopular war, even though we remained in it for quite a while. We got in, I'm wanting to say it was under Kennedy. LBJ held us in there, then Nixon maintained it. But there was just a growing distaste for the Vietnam War. And yeah. But, there are many who were like, he refuses to fight for America. He's not American. And he's just expressing, why should I go and kill someone who I do not know, who I have no qualms with personally? And Ali was verbally attacked for this. And you hear they put him on trial. An all-white jury found him guilty. That's something else that's been a long time issue in America. The jury was all white. How is it supposed to be a jury of your peers if, you don't have at least a person of color on there? It poses a good question. Let's continue with more of this.
I find nothing amusing or interesting or tolerable about this man. He's a disgrace to his country, his race, and what he laughingly describes as his profession. He has been found guilty. He is out on bail. He will inevitably go to prison, as well he should. He's a simplistic fool and a pawn.
Do you share the same concern that Muhammad has for?
Now, it shows you some of the backlash. Here we have Dr. King being interviewed. He stands right beside Muhammad Ali and he's getting ready to be asked. And if you watched any of my videos on the writings and speeches of Dr. King, you know he was very much against the Vietnam War as well. So, yeah, let's listen to this.
For his draft status?
Oh, I certainly do. My views on the draft are very clear. I'm against it. And I think the sooner our country does away with the draft, the better it will be for everybody.
Yeah, that's all the video here. It's just showing the actual thing it's from. The Boys Who Said No. But yeah. This was a very contentious moment. And as we looked up, as I found here, you know, the military ended its military draft in January of 1973. So I guess enough pressure came down that they finally said, all right, no more of the draft, of drafting citizens to be soldiers. So, yeah. But I'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.